Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Today we're going to look at the new Hoyt Pro Force. Let's try this box. Now the first thing I'm going to pick is Hoyt has gone away from the black box. Maybe that was just for the RX1. Now this Pro Force is for one of my favourite customers. Now to keep his identity unique, we're going to call him Boris the Russian. So because he always buys the bows to be the same colour. That way his wife doesn't actually know that he's buying new bows. So every one of his bows is black. So we're hoping that in this box there's a black Hoyt. Now Boris buys lots of different bows. He's owned Hoyt, PSE, Matthews, and this is his latest bow that he wanted to buy. Now, I have never seen one of these bows, I've never shot one, so this is my very first look at the new Hoyt Pro Force. So, now it doesn't come with a case like the RX1. Now there is a hat down the bottom of the box, but it doesn't want to come out. So now the Pro Force comes in two models. It comes in a 35-inch model and a 32-inch model. It's aimed at the hunting and the target market. Now Boris is a target shooter, an inspiring hunter, but he's never been hunting. I'm going to say he's never been hunting. He probably has been. He's going to say, yes I have, I've been hunting. But basically a target archer, he shoots at home, he actually shoots at my club. So this is the Hoyt. Now the target version is more expensive than the hunting version, that's the first thing. It comes in a whole bunch of different colours, and with Hoyt now you can change the colours of the limbs too. But Boris likes his bows all black, that way they look the same. It doesn't matter whether it's a PSE, a Hoyt or a Matthews, it looks like the same bow. So he can tell his wife he's just got the same bow. Now, the first thing with Hoyt, comes with a little kit like this and adjustable hand grips. So you can actually change the angle of the hand grip here. It bolts on and bolts off with two screws on the side here. Now to me that's a really great feature, so you can change the angle, and I think that should be a standard in all bow companies. Keep it nice and simple. It's not, but I think this is a really good feature of Hoyt. The other thing I really like about the Hoyt grip, one, it's the same width all through here, and that kind of pushes your hand grip straight to this point here. Some of the other bows, you can move your hand up and down a little bit and that changes the balance of the bow, and it changes the way the bow shoots. If you grip the bow down further, it'll shoot higher. If you grip the bow up higher, it'll shoot lower. The Hoyt grip, it's very precise in that respect. So this bow, new for 2019. It features the same sort of cam design as what you've seen on the RX1 before, where you've got a yoke system on the bottom and a yoke system up the top. The yoke system up the top is on the limbs, the yoke system down the bottom is on the cams. Now to me that's really confusing, I'm not sure why Hoyt have done that. I think it's to take advantage of the twin yoke system, but still keep with the hybrid cam system which Hoyt is using, where other bow companies have gone for twin cams like PSE and Matthews. So Hoyt is sticking with the hybrid cam system, and what that means is you have a different cam top to bottom. So although with the traditional hybrid cam system you don't need to tune the bow, with a Hoyt you do, because there's a draw stop on the bottom and there's a draw stop on the top. So these wheels need to come over exactly in time. If they don't, one stop will hit before the other. Now what I've found when I've timed the RX1, it's literally half a turn on the cables, takes the timing off and on. So it's very, very sensitive. Now this is a 35-inch Pro Force, 7-inch brace height, it weighs 4.7 pounds. Retail price in America is about $2,000. In Australia this is retailing at about $2,100, which doesn't make sense. So I'm guessing the recommended retail price by Hoyt in America is actually high, and I'm guessing the shops in America are selling it way under the $2,000 mark, because the Australian dollar is at 70 cents of the American dollar. So it should be 30% higher than the American price, in which case it should be $2,600 instead of $2,100. You can see the huge amount of speed knocks which come on the string here. It's got a string stop down the bottom, which is pretty standard. Roller cable guides here. Now with the previous Hoyts you saw on the Prevail and the Podium, you could angle this in and out. This is a fixed position. The strings are served all the way through, so if you're making up strings for this bow, this is a more complex string system than a standard string system. So for us, we make a standard set of strings for $130. This is a lot more work in it. It's a lot more work to fit to the bow, so just bear that in mind. To tune it, to get the timing correct, there's a lot more work on this bow. Now this is a rotating module system. So to change the draw length, you do not need a bow press. You just basically rotate the modules, top and bottom, and change the position of the draw stops. The bow comes in 3 draw lengths, and forgive me if I get this wrong, it's straight from the top of my head. It's 26 to 30, 29 to 32, and I think there's a 30 to a 33, I think. They're the 3 sizes. Now to me that's a lot better. In the past I've been critical of Hoyt and I always get bagged for it, but in the past Hoyt have gone like 26 to 29 and then 29 to 30, and for me if your draw length was 29 you're kind of like, which bow do I get? By Hoyt having the crossover from the 26 to the 29 and the 20, from the 26 to the 30 and the 29 to the 32, it enables you to, if you're 29 inches, to choose either way, and you've got variance. If you're 28, then you obviously there's only one choice, and the other options are not even an option. So to me, by having that crossover of 1 inch, it's absolutely perfect, and I think Hoyt have done really well with that. Now to me, the overall look of this bow, I think the look of this bow is fantastic. It's got the parallel limbs, so you should feel no shock when you shoot this bow. This is pretty standard these days. This is a solid, I'm pretty sure this is a solid fiberglass limb. I'm going to say it again, when Hoyt didn't have these parallel limbs and I said, look, you know, you get more vibration and they don't have the solid fiberglass and they can't put them under the tension because they're a laminate limb, the Hoyt users basically jumped down my throat and said, no, that's because it's more stable. This is what Hoyt's got now. This is the standard of the industry. Parallel limbs, you pull them down to create extra tension on the strings and cables. You should feel no vibration when you shoot this bow. So this should be a nice shooting bow. I think the finish on Hoyt's is fantastic, and I think the machining on this bow is top notch. It looks cool. It looks the goods. You got a low amount cable stabilizer hole down here, nice and low, that's where you want it. You've got metal limb pockets here which lock in place, and metal pivots here. The standard limb pivot here, you've got everything in this bow that you want. The Hoyt limb dampeners, which are fine. Hoyt got rid of the metal arm thing, which was an absolute nightmare. Bow presses had problems with them. To me, Hoyt have taken a bow that they've developed for a number of years and improved on it to come up with this Pro Force. Now, once again, I haven't shot it. IBO on this bow is 325. To me, that's going to be slow for what this bow is. I would imagine this bow to be quicker, so I'm going to be very interested to shoot it through a chronograph. The bow serial number is just here. You have one Allen key hole there. Now one thing, when you're fitting a drop away arrow rest to this bow, because you've got this bridge design here, the cord which you pull for a drop away will kind of come on this side and kind of will rub up against this. So for me, it's always been, look, it is what it is. So while it looks cool, and this adds more stability to the riser and more strength to the riser, as does this here, it does come with some drawbacks if you're shooting a drop away arrow rest. Now Boris will be shooting a blade rest because he's a target shooter, I'm guessing. So he won't have those issues. But to me, it looks like a really nice bow. The balance on the bow, you can see it slightly rolls back. Now at 4.7, it's kind of heavy, but it doesn't feel too bad in the hand. It doesn't feel too heavy, doesn't feel too light. Would I like it lighter? Maybe a little bit lighter. And I think Hoyt have machined this out here to try and reduce the weight a little bit. And this is definitely fairly skinny on this side. But to me, this is a really nice looking bow. To me, it's one of the nicest looking Hoyts to date. Now, if you're a Hoyt lover, you can debate that point with me, but to me, this is the cutouts, the way they've cut it out here. This looks cool. It's inset here. This looks cool. This looks cool to me. Just all the shapes, the design here. I really like the shaping. I think the designer of this bow has done really, really well. You can see it's machined out here, extra. I mean, to me, I really appreciate the work that has gone into the design of this bow. The limbs look cool. It's just a really cool looking bow. I'm going to be interested how Boris shoots with this bow. Since he's shot so many of the top line bows on the market, I'm going to be very interested to see how he shoots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an arrow rest on this. We're going to put a sight on this, and we're going to shoot this bow at 18 meters. He's allowed me to shoot a few shots with it before he comes and picks it up. Now this one, oh, the other thing I'm going to mention, Hoyt does some really good things. So here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little tag here. It says A is 26.5, H is 30. To me, this is fantastic. It makes it really simple for a person working in an archery shop. A lot of people working in archery shops might only work there 1 day a week. So if you want to set this draw length to, let's say 28.5, you know it needs to be on E. How simple is that? That should be a standard on the industry, seriously. You've got all the tech specs here on the side of this bow, just there. To me, that is absolutely fantastic. What else would I like to see on this bow? I'd probably like to see like a data card for when this bow has been hung on the shelf of an archery shop. So you've got like the specs there and some information so people can read. So it says 35, it's got a price, so you can stick a sticker on it with a price. Elite have got that on their bows, and I think that's really nice. But overall, this bow to me is, it looks the goods. It looks really, really nice. So let's put an arrow rest on, let's shoot this thing at 18 meters and let's see how it shoots, and let's shoot it through a chronograph and let's see how that speed of 325 holds up, because I think this bow should be faster. So let's have a look. Okay, so we normally do a chronograph of this bow. Now outside it's 110 Fahrenheit, 45 degrees Celsius in the shade, which puts it at probably around 50 and 125, I'm guessing. Now this bow got so hot in about 1 minute in the sun, I couldn't touch the bow. That's how hot it is outside. And the chronograph wouldn't work for some reason. The chronograph actually got so hot that the legs slid down. So I couldn't get it to chronograph. I can't get a chronograph inside because with lights they flicker. So I need to get fluoros over the chronograph to make it work. So I couldn't chronograph this bow. But I'm going to explain the draw cycle with this bow. It's a 7-inch brace height, first off. Now the grip I really like. I like the grip of this, of the feel of the bow. So here it starts off really solid. So at the start you're thinking this is a speed bow. So that's what you're thinking. The first inch you start to draw back, and that's because you've got preloaded limbs. So you've got tension on these strings already. If you don't have pre-tensioned limbs like these, then the first inch is easy and you don't pick up the speeds. So I draw this bow back, solid, 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 solid. Now it's starting to drop, starting to drop, starting to drop. There. When you get back here, it's real solid. So we're going to take this shot. Now the shot itself feels beautiful. There's no vibration in the hand. The bow's crisp to shoot. It felt really, really nice to shoot. The draw cycle I think is a little bit easier than the Prevail. If you're a Hoyt shooter, if you're looking at comparable target bows, I think it's a little bit harder than the PSE, but very similar to a PSE draw cycle. I think it's easier than the TRX from Matthews. It's harder than the Halon of Matthews. So it's kind of in that range, if that makes sense. But it feels quick. And it feels easy to shoot. So I'm going to be interested to see what my group's like. So let's see how I shoot. I really like the way the bow feels in the hand. It just feels responsive, it feels quick. It's a lovely bow to shoot. Now, out of all the Hoyts I've ever shot, I'm going to say this is the best Hoyt I've ever shot. I don't know if that's a push, but to me it is. This is the best. Better than any other Hoyt I've shot. To me it's easier to shoot than the Prevail. The draw cycle's easier. Similar sort of speed. Now whether it's 35 inch versus the 37 or 39 of the Prevail, but this just feels really nice to shoot. Now I'm going to say there's a whole bunch of good bows on the market right now. And this feels just like all the good bows on the market. It's got the same feel, no shock, it just both sits in your hand after the shot. Rotating modules, which is nice. The draw cycle to me, the draw cycle and the way this bow feels, I did a review on the Elite Revolve, very similar to that bow to physically shoot. Except this bow's got rotating modules. This bow's more expensive than the Revolve from Elite, but it feels very similar. Now I've got no idea when my arrows are going down the other end. I can't see them, so I can't tell you if it's shooting good or bad, but I've got a camera set up down there. I feel like they're shooting good. They feel crisp. Pin's not too bad, centered on the target. I'm getting a little bit of up and down movement, but I was getting that with my target bow 2 nights ago. So I actually switched bows to the Perform, to a 40-inch bow, and I dropped the physical weight of the bow. So to try and get rid of the wobble, but I was finding I was getting a bit of wobble on my target bow 2 nights ago. I'm getting a little bit of that here now. And what I find with bows with a shorter brace height, this has got a 7-inch brace height, this is a longer brace height, but with bows with a shorter brace height, I find I get that sort of movement. With the longer brace height, I tend to get that sort of movement, the up and down movement. I'm definitely getting no left and right movement as far as the sight pin's concerned. It's just up and down, and it's basically sitting around the 10-9 zone most of the time when I'm aiming. But it feels nice, the bow feels quick. Now if you're looking at this bow versus, let's say, the Obsession, I'm going to say HBX 33, which is about a $1,000 bow, these bows feel very similar. And first off, the Hoyt shooters are going to go, hey, no, this is not a fair comparison. Well, actually it is. The bows to me feel very similar. The draw cycles are very similar. The speeds are very similar. But with the Hoyt, what you're getting here, you're getting this shoot-through system here. You're getting the cage design riser. You're getting things like this little yoke system here. These are metal and they're kind of teardrop shaped. So you're getting, you know, and this is more of a target bow. This is a glossy, fancy bow. For $1,000 on like the Obsession, the bow feels very similar to shoot, but it's not as it's not a glossy, well-presented product, which the Hoyt Power Force is. The Power Force is a very polished product, and you're going to pay the extra $1,100 for that shine, basically. But I really like it. The bow to me is really, really nice to shoot. To me, the draw cycle is more comfortable, and I've probably said that before, more comfortable than the Prevail. I've got a whole lot of knocks that have been shot in my quiver. But this is, yeah, it does, like I said, I can't see where my arrow's landing down the other end. It does worry me that I haven't crunched an arrow yet. So, but I feel like they're shooting well, so. Now the grip is more narrow than the PSE grip, and I find it's sitting right there in my webbing. With the PSE grip, I'm going to grab my hand, this I'm finding is there. With the PSE it's down here of the grip. I don't know if it's just because I'm not used to this grip. There's definitely more in the throat. It feels comfortable, but I am feeling the difference now. And it's probably fatiguing a little bit in the throat of my hand. Look, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way it's both shot. Let's go down and see how it grouped. But it's a lovely bow to shoot. Seriously, this is one of the nicest bows I have shot, and I think it's one of the nicest looking bows I've seen. Now looks is back down to your personal preference. I had a guy in my store who loves Hoyt. I'm gonna say he's a Hoyt fanboy. And he saw this bow and goes, I don't like it. He goes, it's too, he says, it's all too much. There's too much in this. It's not simply enough. It's not simplest. It's not, it needs to be more simple is what he said. So, probably didn't word that exactly the way he said it, but I think that's what he meant. So let's go down and see how these arrows went. But the Hoyt overall, I love the finish. I love the draw length adjustability. I love the sizes on the cams. Let's go down and see what the actual grips look like. Okay, so I'm up here with the target. Now, left and right. Left and right is pretty good. Like I said, I wasn't getting any that sort of stuff happening with the sight pins. The left and right is good, but the up and down is pretty average. And when I was back there, I actually said I'm getting a bit of this happening with the sight pin. And I said I was getting the pressure point there with the PSE, I get it there. Now whether that would get better with time or not, I don't know. But this group here, I expect it to be better. To me, this bow has got all the characteristics of the bows I expect to shoot good scores with, and I've shot really well with before. I just did a review on the Elite Revolve, I've done one on the PSE Evoke. 35 inches axle, well balanced, nice draw cycle. I tend to shoot those things just bullets. This not so much so. Now I don't know if it'd get better if I did it again, but with the Revolve, with the PSE drive that I shot incredible with, I just shot it straight away and I just shot really, really well first end with it. This here, I don't really even have two arrows grouping well, and this is indoors, there's no wind. Look, it's fairly hot, like I'm, you know, sweating, but I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me getting used to the grip, me getting used to the draw cycle, because to me this feels just like the Revolve to shoot, but I'm not getting the accuracy down here that I expected. Now, I would say 2 nights ago I was shooting my target bow and I shot very average. The night before that I shot extremely well. Last night I shot extremely well with my target bow, getting ready for Vegas shoot. I didn't miss last night. I was wishing I entered the pro class last night, but the night before I was shooting average. So this could be me. This could absolutely be me. I felt like the shots came off well. I felt like I was consistent. I did feel the pressure in the webbing in my hand where I kind of prefer it down here. So I don't know if that's the grip. And like I said, the grip thing, if you change your grip, you move your up and down groups. So look, I don't know, but the bow's really nice to shoot. This grouping down here is not that impressive. It would have been nice to see this bow through a chronograph. It's not going to, I think it's the speed on this bow, it's rated at 325. I think it's fair because I think it's got quite a big valley, not like the Prevail, but it starts off harder at the start than the Prevail. The Prevail starts off lighter at the thing. It's got a shorter valley and it picks up really quick. So if you were leading down, the Prevail kind of wants to rip down. This bow is not like that. This bow's gentle when you're back in the valley. So I think the 325 is, I'm going to say it's not an inflated IBO speed. If anything, it's probably on the lower side compared to other similar companies. It's a very interesting bow. If you're looking at, you know, the 35-inch bows, the ones to compare it to, PSE Evoke, obviously 35 inches. The elite bows, worth comparing I think it's called the Ritual, the Revolve. Obsession's got some to check out. Matthews Halon is absolutely worth checking out. It's a smoother draw cycle on the Halon. I think they're the main ones. I'd also, if you're looking at it for target, I'd also check out the Supra Focus. Now I will say that Boris did have a Supra Focus and he traded in to buy this bow. So I'm going to be interested to see how he finds this bow in 2 weeks after he's taken it home and shot it, because he also shoots a Matthews. So it's not like this guy is going, well, I'm a PSE or a Hoyt or a Matthews fan. He basically buys all the top of the line bows and then he gives me feedback on which one he prefers and why he prefers them. I mean, he liked the Supra, he likes the Matthews. He did have Matthews, he did have Hoyts before that, and hence he's getting a Hoyt again. But this bow looks the goods, and it feels nice to shoot. It's just that, I don't know if it was me or what, but anyway, give it a try. If you're interested in a bow and archery shop, see if you can shoot the bow, give it a shot and see what you think, because that's what I did. I'd be confused. If I went to an archery shop and I shot that bow, I'd say, geez, that bow shoots nice. And when I come down here and looked at that, I would be a little bit shocked. So I don't know which way to take that. So I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching, and thank you, Boris, for letting me use your bow for this review. And I'm really going to be interested to see how you shoot with it, and see if you'll see what your next bow will be, and see if you keep this bow in preference to the Matthews. But I mean, it's not bad, but definitely not as good as what I've been shooting with the latest bows I've tested. Thank you for watching. Bye.